Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap session for Monday, June the 26th, 2017. My name is Doug McKay. I am the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market macro to micro, take a look at the structure, and then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses for the day. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking out, please send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website. There's no blog. This is not a commercial venture. We do everything live here in the go-to during the pre-market session. Then we do live trading and analysis during the course of the day. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. Okay, so just taking a quick look at what happened on Friday. On Friday, we were looking for some continuation up and the possibility of the bullish engulfing day. We got within one tick of breaking the range high after going down and having a false breakout. And then the sellers stepped in and rotated us back down into the lower distribution. Buyers stepped in again. We just basically fought this LVN, at the beginning and the end of the day, and ended up with another double distribution day with the LVN just slightly lower at 33.50 versus that 34 and a quarter, 34.50 area. So in the Globex, we've obviously rallied overnight. We opened up the week at 32, went down to 30. Buyers stepped in, rotated us up, rotated around the VPOC from Friday, RTH, and then the buyers stepped in, broke us out, and took us up into that 41.75 area where we had that naked VPOC. We still have the naked VPOC as it's not closed until we go into the RTH session, put in a high at 42.50. And we're currently balancing up there with the VPOC overnight at 40 and a quarter. So just taking a look at the news, we did have news this morning. We had core durable goods came out better than expected, and core durable goods orders came out less than expected. 1:30 today, we've got Draghi speaking, so there will be some action then, but not much other than that. Fairly light news week this week. We've got CV consumer confidence tomorrow with Richmond Manufacturing. We've got Fed Yellen speaking at 1 p.m. On Wednesday, we've got a bunch of news at 8:30. Good trade balance, preliminary wholesale, and then we've got some European news and some Canadian news at 9:30, right on the open. That could cause an interesting open tomorrow on Wednesday, and then 10 o'clock pending homes and crude inventory. And then on Thursday, we have final GDP and unemployment claims. That's the big one, natural gas. And then on Friday, we have Canadian GDP, core PCE, personal spending, personal income, Chicago PMI, revised University of Michigan consumer sentiment and expectations. So a fairly decent day on Friday for scheduled news. I always like to start my day taking a quick look at the macro to micro. I start with a monthly, and what I'm using is a 9 EMA, 20 SMA. I'm looking for slope and separation, strength of the trend. No doubt we are very much in the trend on the monthly. On the weekly, we saw some weakness coming in, but they're back on the buy side, and the weekly is very much upward trend. On the daily, we came down and challenged the 20 SMA, and we took it back overnight. And currently, right now, trend is very much intact and looking for a continuation pattern up. Going into the intraday, see that we had that move down off of the all-time highs, after putting in a foobar, Mr. Sneaky technical gap, rotated down, consolidated, chopped around, and now we've got continuation of the trend, slope and separation to the upside on the 4 hour. On the 1 hour, you can see it's accelerating. We do have a Mr. Sneaky. I don't consider this a foobar Mr. Sneaky, but you can see the price is paralleling the 9. So you got to be careful, wait for the high after the Mr. Sneaky to put in, and then respected with the lower high to take any of the shorts on that Mr. Sneaky. But the trend is very much intact. We don't even challenge the trend until we're back down in the 2440 area. Going to the 30-minute, same thing, price paralleling 9 quite nicely. This was a fail. I consider this a failed foobar Mr. Sneaky right here on the 30-minute, and just basically trend is still intact, losing a little bit of slope and separation, but not enough to even think about the trend being challenged. You can see that it is being challenged on the 15-minute, coming down and testing this 41. A break below that takes us down towards the 20 SMA to challenge this trend, but the trend is up. There is a naked cross all the way down here at the 32.75 area. I think we closed the one that was up there. Yeah, it was already closed. And then going to the 5-minute, you can see that the 5-minute we have broken below the 9 and the 20. So seeing a little bit of weakness, but overall this is a small time frame wiggle versus the larger time frame, which is still all pointing to the upside. So taking a look at the structure, you can see that we were in this balance area and just chopping around this distribution. The composite VPOC is at 35.50, and the last 3 days we went and accepted that. The VPOC is the same for the last 3 days, and now in the Globex we get the breakout and we're above value, which is the 37.38 area, and above the CLVN at 40, and coming in and chopping around that 41. The key level to watch for above is the 43.75. Above there, we're looking for a move to 47, where they tried to hold balance after putting in the all-time high at 51.50. If we don't stay above 40, look for them to challenge the 38, and if they get below the 37.50, look for them to rotate into the 35.50 again, and right back into the balance. Key line in the sand is going to be moved up now to 31.50. If we get below that, then I'm looking to challenge the lows and come back down into that 27-28 area. So taking a look at the overnight session, we are basically, I would say, about 80% net positive overnight, if not more. We spent most of the time above the open, and then we spent a lot of time above the close from Friday. And between time and value, we've spent a lot of time above the prior day close and the week open, and we are net positive, creating a P-shaped profile with some pretty thin areas that will likely need to get repaired at some point in time. Key one to keep an eye on is going to be this 38. That's the one that's at the microcomposite value area high, and below that you've got 37.50 and 35.50 area to look for a retrace down there. So going and taking a look at our 20-period daily ATR, currently right now off a high overnight of 42.50, which is likely to get taken out almost immediately, if not expanded upon during the time we got remaining in the Globex. Our 20-period full session daily ATR is running at 14.03, and that takes us down to the 28.50 area. Off of the low overnight, our daily upside ATR target is 44 up above, and likely going to get challenged today. We do have the naked VPOC at 41.75. I expect this to get taken out on the open, no matter if we're above or below it. We are going to gap up. So taking a look at our VPOC is not likely to shift. It could shift up to 41.50, but a lot of volume went off at 40.25. So 40.25 is something I'm going to be watching for responsive selling into. If we opened up right where we are right now at 42 against the close of 34.50, our half gap fill is 38.25. And that is right at a critical area. And again, this is approximate because I do not know where we're opening yet. It's you know, not a huge gap, but it's a decent sized gap depending on where we open up. So we got to look at our gap rules. But in any regard, this 38 is going to be 38 to 37.50 is going to be critical for me. Move back to the VPOC. I'm going to be watching this 40 area as well, at 40.50, and looking for that that tag of the overnight VPOC. And then above us, I'm looking at the 43.75. Really, I'm just going to put it right on 44 as a trade area, because if we break above that, I'm looking for a push up into the 47 area. And there's really not much beyond that to give us any guidance. There's the 50-50 value area high, but it's not a real strong value area. We're up in this area. You just want to be long. You don't want to be looking for areas to try to short from at that point in time, in my humble opinion. And then our over underline is going to just be moved down slightly to 33.50. You know, a break below that, I'm targeting the 30.50, and then our daily downside and key area below is going to be that 28 to take us down into the 27. That takes out our overnight low, and then below that 24. And then the 22.25, the key line in the sand. The definitive one is still down at 16.50. We said that we were going to be watching that 31.50 as a key line in the sand. If we get below it, I think we see the weakness come in, but there's not a lot of weakness coming into this market. All right, so there's the levels. We're going to be opening auction out of range, out of value. So my main hypothesis is, we do have a measured move, so let's look at the measured move. That one was violated. Just want to check to see which ones are still valid, but this one is very much valid right here, and it doesn't get violated until we break 30. Missed my trade on gold. Crap. Oh well. 47.75 is primary, and that's right above that naked close. All right, so my hypotheses for the day. Open auction, out of range. Hypo 1 is responsive selling down into the 40 and somewhere between the 40 and the 37.50. I'm looking for maybe even a push down to 35.50, but I think that we're likely to only get the gap fill or leave the gap fill alone, and then rotate us up through into the 44 area and then push up into this 47 and then fall back and close somewhere back down in around the 42 area. So open auction, out of range, out of value. Responsive selling moved down in somewhere between 40 and 37.50, maybe 35.50. Find initiative sellers, rotate this back up, chop around the 44, make a probe up into the 47 area, fall back and close somewhere in this area that we're trading in right now and the price acceptance they found overnight. Hypo 2. I have to have as a open auction out of range, a push up, take out the overnight high, fail a breakout above the 44, and then maybe even to the 47, but then initiative sellers stepping in and bring us right back down into balance and chopping around in this 35 to 36 level and closing back inside balance. Hypo 3 is an open test drive. Leave the gap open. Failed to close it. Initiative buyers stepping in, taking us up into the 44 to 47 area, chopping up here, and then getting a late day probe up to make new all-time highs. That is Hypo 3. And then Hypo 4 is open auction out of range and basically sideways action, chopping between the 44 and the 35 and just basically fighting this range high from Friday and just going sideways as we consolidate and accept this price in the RTH session between around the 41 to 40 area, or 40 to 42 area, I should say. And then alternatively, Hypo 5, which is low probability, is failure and a breakdown into the 33 area, 34 area, chop around there, and then fail and come down and take out this 27 and do some repair in this long tail from the overnight session and close somewhere down in around the 22 to 27 area. Those are my four main hypotheses. Gold, what a big breakdown over the weekend. I'm glad I closed that runner I had on my long. We basically had $18.30 rotation up. What do? We rotate down all the way down to $23.30 and get a low in at 36.70, and then they buy it back up and we rotate $7 back up. Key line to watch is the 42.40. If we can hold that, look for them to rotate back up into this. I want to bring these 2 days into balance. Doesn't change price acceptance. It's around 47, so I'm looking for gold to drift up into the 47 and chop around in this area, for the rest of the day. Made its big move. It's rebounded a large portion of it, and it's likely just to chop between 48.90 and 42.40 in this distribution here. That's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.